Hey guys, it's Dolphinic. Welcome to a new Reddit video series on this channel. This episode will be dealing with entitled parents, the spoiled brats that think they and their kids deserve anything and everything, and they will lie and steal to get it. Hope you enjoy the video. Entitled mom tries to deny her dying son his wish and tries to kill him because the books I got for him are satanic. Some backstory. I'm in a Dungeons & Dragons group with a couple of friends from nearby, and one of the members of the group was a kid who is about 15 years old. He's a really sweet kid, likes helping other people out, and he's a big fan of Dungeons & Dragons. He also has cancer in both of his lungs. He's from a religious family that basically forces him to act pure while he's in their sight. The mom is WBC level rabid, while the dad is just a sensible person who just tries to get him to be a good kid. When he's out of sight of his parents, he just does normal teen stuff. Because of his mom, the only books he was allowed to own were Christian books and Bibles. He joined our group mainly as a way to escape his home life and his mom. A couple of weeks ago, the cancer in his lungs started to get to him, so he was taken to a hospital by his parents. He contacted me about this a day after he was taken to the hospital, stating that he wanted a monster manual as his last wish, stating that he was tired of reading the same things. I bought him the book from Barnes & Noble, but considering that he's a dying teen, I got him Volo's Guide to Monsters and Morkenhin's Tome of Foes stacked on top of that. The next day, which was his birthday, he was still in the hospital, so I brought him the books as a gift. After he blew out the candles, we had cake and he started opening gifts. Mine was the first to be opened. Seeing what they were, he immediately got this humongous grin on his face and hugged me. Meanwhile, his mom stared down at the books with a look of pure disgust, with her husband staring at her with this wary look in his eyes. She picks up one of the books and relights one of the candles and holds the damn book over it to try to set it on fire. I managed to stop her and demand, "What the hell are you doing? He asked me to get those books and I'm not going to let you take them away." His mom simply stared me down and said something along the lines of those books being sinful, satanic, and full of evil, and that her son had no business with them. I retort and say that her son can read what he wants and that she shouldn't have to force him to be Christian. She starts getting red in the face and yelling at me about essentially forcing children to believe in God from a young age. I state that I'm a Baptist, which I actually am, and say that the faith in God is a matter between God and the individual. She turns red all over and actively starts to try and destroy the books, with me, my friend, and her husband trying to stop her. At one point, I shouted, "Would God want you to do this, to restrict your dying son's freedom of expression?" right in her face. This just sets ablaze. She tosses the books aside and starts trying to strangle her son. And her husband calls security immediately when she does this. Security get here within about a minute of the two of us trying to pry EM off her son and drag her away, with her shouting that we're all catamites to the devil. Both her husband and my friend charge her with child abuse, assault, and attempted murder. Trial's still going, and I'll try to update this post as the trial goes on. Reminds me of my first grade teacher who thought I was a Satanist because I played Paper Mario 64. What was her thought process on that? I was at a Christian elementary school for K to 6th grade, and my first grade teacher thought that anything that wasn't of the Lord was against the Lord. So when I got a Nintendo 64 with Paper Mario that Christmas and talked about it to my friends, none of which played video games, the teacher flipped and told my parents I had a satanic obsession. My parents thought she was a crazy lady and paid her no mind. She spent the rest of the year trying to get me in trouble for nothing, literally sent 6-year-old me to the office when I said I didn't have a pencil. Thankfully, she doesn't teach anymore. Probably same teacher that watches 6 hours of TV each day. Entitled mother tries to take my first class seat, steal my phone and laptop, and also make me trip. I was on a flight traveling to Japan. So far, the day had been progressing well. There were no delays and I was well rested to endure a 14-hour trip. I never am, personally, but, you know. It was a non-stop flight, so this was going to be a long ride, which was made even longer because of the awful mom on the plane. EM equals entitled mother, K equals entitled kid. Upon boarding, I went over to my seat in first class. Mind you, I don't make that much money as I'm only in college, so this seat... As I walk over, I'm about to sit down until I see a mother and her kid burst out of a con and shove me back, taking my 2 seats. EM throws her kid down, who seems visibly embarrassed. EM doesn't even have her bags, which I can see through the curtains is placed near empty seats. I say, "Excuse me, this is my seat." EM gives me a glance and goes back to staring straight forward. I ask for her to please give me my seat, but she just ignores me. At this point, I call over a flight attendant and explain to her the situation. The attendant says, "Ma'am, please give him his seat." EM looks at her and explains that it is her seat and I am simply trying to take it. I then show the flight attendant the ticket, which shows the corresponding seat. EM gives me a dirty look when she returns to her seat. The flight then goes along with me explaining to my seat neighbor what happened, and she just laughs it off. Soon the airplane dims its lights. Many people take this as a signal that they are encouraging you to sleep. Not EM. After maybe 10 minutes of sleeping, I hear a shriek, and turn to see EM digging through my bag. EM then looks up and runs with my phone. I see her run to the bathroom with it. I already figure she might try to damage it with water or put it in the toilet. I run for her and she turns around, tries to trip me using her legs. See, EM did trip me, but I am 6'3". I may be lean, but that doesn't mean I don't weigh much. So I basically crushed EM. When EM yelled for help, people pushed me off of her. EM then goes on a sob story on how she tried to get her phone back, but I stopped her. People ask if this is true, and I say she can't unlock it. She fails and is ushered back to her seat. Now being informed, police will be waiting for her upon landing, as they should be. Even worse, I see her son playing with my laptop as I pass the aisle to go to the bathroom, as the other one was full. I snatch it, but then EM says that her son deserves the laptop after all I've put her through. I then just walk off, done with her, and EM tries to drag me by my ear to bring me back my own laptop to her son. I turned around and asked her, "What the f***? You've stolen my phone and laptop, tried to steal my seat, tripped me, and you still think you deserve anything?" EM then says her son wanted to go to Japan to go to some theme park and that I ruined the entire trip. EM then goes ballistic, yelling and pulling seat fabric. People eventually calm her down. Her son is just sitting there, embarrassed as to how her mother is. When the plane landed, I gave him some candy, and all he said was thank you, and walked off with his mom, who was being escorted by security. Pink is for girls. Last year I gave haircuts, just like my dad before his accident. And a little fun fact, I'm a boy, and pink is my favorite color. This parent. Today at the barber shop wasn't very busy, and we only had 4 people to give haircuts to. The other barber had already went home after no one came in for an hour, which was kinda irresponsible, but I can't really blame him. Then the 5th customer of the day walks in. It's a woman with her son. The son looked about 14, 15, and his mother looked like she was in her 40s. They walk in and I give the boy a haircut. At the end of the haircut, the boy asked for a little bit of pink dye in the front of his hair. The mom wasn't watching, she was on her phone. So I did what he asked when we were finished, and I told the woman the total, and she looks at her son and says, "What the hell is that? Why is pink in my son's hair?" Mo, what the f*** is your problem? You aren't getting paid for ruining my son's hair. I'm sorry, my ma'am, but... Mom, I asked for it. Entitled mom looks at the boy with evil eyes. I knew something was going to happen, but I have to say I really appreciate that boy sticking up for me, because I expected he'd say nothing, and normally I don't know what to say in the situation, so Brownie points to him. Why? Pink is for girls, not boys! Entitled mom is shouting now, basically what I expected. I mean, what else could she do? Sue him for having pink in his hair? You know what? I'm sick of your shit, Mom. You literally don't respect anything I do. If I hang out with the disabled at school, you will force me to hang around the people who pick on them, and when my girlfriend bought me a shirt with a pink heart on it, you throw it in the garbage, and you are so fucking lazy. You make me and Dad do everything around the house. Fuck you, Mom. The boy stormed out of the shop, and the mother left to chase him. I didn't earn any money, but I wasn't really pissed. I was shocked and confused, but the boy returned a few minutes later. He came back and yeeted $20 in the shop. He didn't even step inside. He opened the door and threw the money. I think his crazy mom was chasing him. I was still in his shock and felt bad for the kids. I never saw them again, and I no longer work at that barber shop. Entitled mom caught on camera loses child custody. This happened about 4 years ago. I was about 21 at the time. I worked in a tire factory, and it was a pretty sweet deal. Check in, do your job, check out, no mess. We'd take short 20-minute breaks every 3 hours or so. One time, after going out for some fresh air, I was trying my then recently purchased Arctic laser, when I noticed there's a mother and son of about 8 years of age and somewhat 20 yards away. The kid runs at me and says, "Hey Mom, look, it's laser, can I try?" Mom, "Sure, go ahead," while getting closer. No, not really, this is actually dangerous. It even has a child-proof What? Aren't you a little old to be playing with lasers? Just give it to him and stop being selfish. My age isn't relevant to this discussion. I won't give anything to your kid. She goes crazy and interrupts. "I don't care! Listen here, you little Who do you think you are to say no to my boy?" "But ma'am, it's actually for his own safety. This is very EM then tries to grab and take it from me. Entitled kid starts kicking. I then push him away so he stops, but he immediately starts crying. "See what you did? You just hit my kid." The security occasionally passes by and EM throws a fit. "Call the police, now! I want to press charges. He beep my kid and stole his laser toy." I saw the entire thing from a distance. This is not his toy. May I ask why you are here in the factory grounds anyway? "My husband is the boss. I'm going to have both your asses fired by tomorrow. I'm also having you jailed for stealing my son's property and hitting us." She then rips one sleeve of her blouse and messes her hair and calls someone. Manager's name. "Honey, please, come help me. I'm so scared. One of your employees just stole from entitled kid's name and assaulted us." Screams, pretending I'm doing something to her. "Let me go. I'm so scared. Please come quick." This whole time, the security guard just looks astonished, and when her husband comes, he explains, Hey sir, I was here the entire time, and he did not hurt your son or wife in any way. Manager. Well, are you sure? Look at how she is. I'm positive. Still, if you want to confirm, we can look at cameras B2 and B7, as this surveys specifically this area. Alright, I'd like to see them. At the moment, entitled mom realized she was being filmed the whole time. She tried to get out of it, tried to defuse her husband's willingness to see the tapes. You know what, honey, we better just leave it at that. Can we just go home? I'm exhausted and don't want to extend this any longer. I urge you to see the tape, as the accusations your wife makes are very serious. Yes, we should see the tapes. After seeing the tapes in private, the manager apologized and decided to promote me one level up. He said he had an idea that it was a lie because she was a diagnosed sociopath and mythomaniac. After a week or so, he confessed that that was the last he could take from her and that he was divorcing her and requesting full custody of the child as she was unstable and unfit to raise the child. In the process of divorce that happened during the next couple of months, the manager discovered she was cheating on. Also, she somehow figured out what my number was and called me to apologize. She said that she was trying to get back to her family and she regretted doing what she did. I told her to buzz off. Hey guys, it's me, Dolphinic. I've been working on this video for a really long time and I'm so happy that I'm finally able to share it with you guys. I would like to give a huge shout out to my friend Base Dynamics for helping me record this video. A link to his channel will be in the description. Thanks for watching the video and please leave feedback in the comments below so I know what to do next time.